Yeah, boy.
Okay. So, the guy we have on today, you all know him. He has been rocking a bowl cut. He's British. He's one of the better players in the game, if not one of the best. A lot of people think he's kinda cheesy. But it's kinda hard to hate him, you know, even though he brings out the Warhammer buckler on your ass. I'm of course talking about Staudi. So let's get him on. Now we just need him to pick up. Man's leaving me hanging right now. What's going on? Yeah, who's Staudi? Man, you guys are fucking cracking, huh? Staudi is gamer, true gamer, man. Oh shit, hi.
Yo, yo.
Okay, let me just turn you up a little bit.
You live?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining in, man.
I'm chilling.
You're chilling. That's what we like to hear. So, I actually don't know super much about you. I know that you're one of
Should I
like...
tag my Discord?
What?
Should I tag the Stoutlaw Discord?
Have you, or...?
No, shall I?
Yeah, if you want to.
Alright, go for it.
Music's a little too high, okay. Okay, so, you know, I have a couple of questions for you, because I actually don't know that much about you. I know that you're, like, an OG player, right?
Wait, 1 second.
Alright.
So, I'm updating my drivers at the same time here, and my screen keeps going black.
Oh, no. Oh, Bruno's already talking shit in chat about Staudi. You must defend yourself, Staudi.
Second. Is your name the Sneaky Sloth with 2 H's? On Twitch?
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully this is the right link. Right, there you go.
Okay, so Lizard told me to ask you if you are rank 1 by a landslide.
Apparently, yes, I am.
Currently, yes, you are. You plan on that staying like that height?
Well, as much as I can, yeah. Like, Pog's got higher elo than me right now in duels, so next time he plays, he'll be rank 1 in duels, but, you know, he's not as consistent as I am, so...
I see.
That's all that counts is consistency. Yo, shout out to Hernan.
So, you know, as I said before, I don't really know that much about you, actually. You know, I didn't know anything about chivalry and, like, the scene and that and all that kind of stuff, and you were obviously, like, you know, an early backer from, where is it, Kickstarter, I'd imagine?
Oh, yeah, I was, yeah.
So, like, how did you...
$400
How much did you donate, you say?
I got scammed $400 so I could get the Kickstarter crown.
$400, yikes, man. That's actually quite a lot to spend. So you obviously support the game, like, a lot since, like, in its lifespan. It's not quite dead yet, but, you know, it is bleeding a little bit. We're getting some new players in, see if they'll stay.
It's pretty dead at this point, because you got Shiv 2 coming out, you got some new games on the horizon, so... basically, the only way that this game can get saved is if Tritarian hires me, Bear, and King Despacito to, like, fix the game and take it into a new direction, but...
Let's go.
It's just unlikely to happen, though. Like, it's got a lot of support, that idea, on Elite Ideas.
Yeah, I saw that.
Me trying to take over Tritarian with the military coup, but if you guys could give that one an upvote, maybe we can make something happen.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've always seen you assert dominance into Cross, like, absolutely annihilating him in, like, what was in, like, 50-0 or something like that, if not more.
I gave him 1 kill, just so that he wouldn't, like, get too depressed, but yeah.
Sorry, that's you. Yeah. Okay, so sorry about that. So you know, when did you start streaming actually? Like you were obviously back from St0uty, right?
Yeah, I think I bought like a webcam in 2016 to like occasionally scrim and stream the scrim on St0uty. But yeah, I was never like trying to be like a big boy streamer. I would just stream like when there was an event, like a tournament or something. Just like something going on in Shiv. But no, that the goal there wasn't to become like a big streamer or anything at that point anyway.
So, you know, you're partnered. Did you get like partnered off of Mordhau or off of St0uty?
It was like a year after Mordhau launched, because then I was actually getting some nice viewer numbers and stuff. Although partner doesn't mean anything really, if anyone's wondering. Like, there's like literally no difference between partner and just where I was before. Or if you're streaming right now and you've got like 80 viewers or something, if you become a partner, there's no difference really. The only thing that's good about partners, you get access to the Twitch bounty system, which you might have access to already. And then you can get like paid ads, just like watch a trailer or something. So that's pretty cool. But other than that, like partner doesn't really have any benefits for like a normal, I don't know, like semi-small streamer.
Don't you get like a little bit higher percentage of payout from the subs though? They take 50% from me, for example, right?
I think I'm still getting 50%. I think you actually have to get like some huge viewer count to actually renegotiate that. Maybe it's like slightly higher, like I don't know, maybe get like a penny more, but I don't think it's significant.
Hey, yo, congrats on partner. We'll give you 1 cent more per sub.
Yeah, it's useful just to tell people you're a Twitch partner. That's basically it. And I guess maybe like people that are just outside of space might put some more respect on you, but that's about it really. It's just the clout, like Flame said.
Yeah, I guess. I always found it very interesting with like obviously I would love to get partner in the future sometime, but you know it shit like doesn't come very easily. Especially if you're like me, not really particularly good at any games. You know, I'm just playing, but I'm getting my shit kicked in all day long, so you know it's kind of hard with that.
You're honestly probably better off without partner, because when you sign to the partner agreement, it means you can only stream on Twitch. So you could do like a multi-stream on YouTube and stuff. And if you're not like a huge streamer anyway, there's probably more benefit to doing that than there is to just signing up to get a tick, but then restricting yourself to the Twitch platform. So there might be something to not being partnered, unless like you're a huge name. I don't know. Depends how much you want to be a Twitch partner, like how much that term means.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, there's obviously also difference about like, you know, how partnered you are. You know, if let's say you have like 5,000 viewers average, right? Then you're obviously gonna be banking on that like much better probably because you're higher up in the hierarchy or whatever, right? I'd imagine you get better support if you make them more money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they used to have like partner managers and stuff, but I don't think they do any of that anymore, at least not for every single partner.
I see. So I have a question for Poach. He asks you, how does it feel being number 3 on the ranked leaderboard? Fucking Poach, come on, man.
Let me just have a quick check. I'm just gonna fact check that real quick. Logging into Mordhau. Please wait. ... Just gonna check ranked right now. Oh fuck's sake! Oh, okay, Pog's queued. I'm now number 2, so you know it's not a good feeling, but the guy that's ahead of me is called Cheetah, so...
Oh, okay.
And if you click his Steam profile... Yep, VAC ban on record, so...
Oh, I have... does that mean... It might that be a Polish guy?
Probably, yeah.
A Polish...
I mean, I wouldn't bring race into it, but, you know, now you mention it.
Polish are not a race, what? Okay. Chat, relax.
Get Baron here to do a segment on that.
Okay, so I'm seeing right now a lot of questions here. Some kind of valid, some very degenerate. Like, for example, Master Ukaway asks when you're doing a hot tub stream.
It's a good idea, but I don't know.
Honestly, make the bank.
So can you not do like a bath stream? It has to be an actual hot tub. Like, you can't just, like, sit in the bath and stream it.
I think the terms of service is as long as it has something to do with a pool or water, and you're allowed to be in bikinis.
I can't just get in my bath. Right. Okay.
No, you can't. You can't just drop out of your clothes and stand in the boxes and then walk to the shower. You have to be in a top or like, and then go up to change and get back into the top. But then again, it's very exploitable. Like there's, you've probably seen it. Like there's like these.
What are you implying? Well, I spend my time watching Just Chatting. What? You've probably seen it.
Yeah.
What do you take me for?
Okay, you have seen it. So there are people. No, there's obviously these kind of girls that lay on a towel and fucking kind of almost twerk doing yoga and shit. They're not even in water, but they're kind of abusing the loopholes in the system. Like
I think that's fucked up. There's
yeah,
girls in this platform.
I do think so too. I think it's kind of. It's a little out of line. Like if I were to show my titties right now, like, you know, just to some extent of what they're doing, I'd be banned within like 10 minutes if someone reports me, like 100%. There was a guy that got banned.
I would take that, but I don't think you get banned for that.
There was a guy that got banned from being in his boxers only. Like, not just boxers, he just took his pants off.
But do you watch Ruben though? Because he's shirtless non-stop, and he's fucking built. So.
Oh yeah, that might actually be true. But I guess it does depend on the gender a little bit. There's not too many females going hard over man nibbles, I'd imagine. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Ruben, he's a fucking mad lad. We love Ruben on here. So, you know, you played like a good amount of Mordhau, and you've probably seen like pretty much all you can see in Mordhau. Like, what do you think of its community? If you have to be like kind of blunt with it.
It's pretty based.
It's based.
Like, yeah, it's pretty unique. You don't really see communities like this in gaming these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't say yeah, it's good. I mean, the only downside, the only negative thing I've seen in the community was when VK was like banned from competing. That was like the only downside, like negative thing I've seen from the community so far. That was a low point for the EU comp scene, but other than that,
yeah,
it's pretty sick community. Can't really criticize it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there is obviously like a lot of people say that Mordhau is a shitter game because of the fact there's so much toxicity, but let's be real, the only reason there's more toxicity in Mordhau than other games is that you don't get banned off of the game from saying it, you know? A lot of people would say the exact same shit in League or Counter-Strike or whatever if they were allowed to, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's very raw. Unfiltered, partly because the devs don't do anything to comp, so it really is just the scene itself. Yeah. And it's this very like unique scene where it's not quite your traditional 5-man CS:GO style esport, but it's not quite a fighting game either. It's kind of like a crossbreed between the two. So it's got this first to 10 beef drama, but you could also have like very detailed 5v5 teams that sometimes come up with weird strategies as well if you're American.
So yeah.
It's such a unique genre where you really can do many things with it, and I think it's a matter of time really before one studio gets it right.
Yeah, I mean you're right. I agree with that. I'm very excited for to see more of what Giru is gonna be making here, like of what he is making. Thank you, by the way, Lord, for the raid, man. I appreciate that a ton, bro. Also, like, you know, you said the community is pretty based, but like we've all seen you getting DDoSed and
the thing is,
all that
the DDoS contacted me and said I want to stop doing it now. So even the DDoS is pretty chill at the end of the day.
Oh, okay, that's at least good, because I've been DDoSed like
even our felons are quite polite.
Yeah, I mean, like getting DDoSed is like fun once. But when it turns to the point where you're not allowed to play anything, yeah, it's kind of shitty. Yeah, especially
I think there's some
really
DDoSers
feeling
that take it too far as well. Like whoever's DDoSing the actual servers themselves, they seem to be out of control.
Oh yeah.
The guy that was DDoSing my IP, he seems to have stopped. He said he contacted me. He said he stopped, and so far, yeah, he has stopped. So
okay, I mean that's good, because I remember watching your stream and you joined in on a random invasion map of 80 players. And within like 30 seconds, the entire server just gets yeeted out the window, and you're just like, oh man. Like, not only did he fuck you over and your viewers to some extent, I mean, the viewers find it a little fun some of the time.
I was finding it fun as well, to be fair. I joined an 80-man server on purpose just to see if it would get taken down, and it did.
Fucking all the new players.
It's like somewhat responsible for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, wait, have you ever been doxxed?
Everyone knows my full name's Matthew Stout. They don't know my middle name though, so that's how you can tell the real doxers from the fake doxers. So
I mean,
if anyone can find out my middle name, then you've taken it a step beyond.
that was not an
But,
encouragement.
I've got a pretty
boys.
low internet footprint anyway, so I don't really mind if people know my full name, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've
It's
not
literally my
ever
Stout.
been.
It's literally my fucking name, Stout. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, like, it's a bit of a clue then.
I mean, I've never been doxed, but Strike once told me he doxed me and to mistake.
Strike once messaged me, "Hello Matthew" with 1T, and like he thought I'd get freaked out by that. When it's literally my PayPal link to my Steam account, if you click the PayPal link, it says you're about to give Matthew Stout some money. And Strike thought that would be like intimidating, but he spelled my name wrong as well.
But like he tried to leak my address, and he literally just made a street up in the city that I like. I've told people on stream I live in Esbjerg, Denmark, like a million times, and he just did something like Esbjerg Street, like 117 or some shit like that, and sent it to Mystic, and when the Mystic told me, and I fucking almost had a heart attack just out of laughter. The fact that he went out of his way to like fake dox me to someone else when because I banned him on a server was funny as fuck.
Classic.
Okay, so Master Uruguay says, ask him what he thinks about how the devs take the feedback and how it could be improved. Cross seems to be looking at a wall when he's taking the feedback. Fair question.
Yeah, it could definitely be a lot better. Like, there's lots of good ideas that get ignored in elite ideas and stuff that just seems like a no-brainer. For example, not allowing people to combo when they hit 0 stam. Because right now, if you're on 2 stam and you enter a combo, you go to 0 stam. So it lets you combo on 2 stam, even though a miss should be 10 stam, right? And then when you hit 0 stam, you can combo another time, even though you're already on 0 stam. And this is just something that Crush has literally said. What was his line again? Like, let me try and find it. Something like, "Oh, it's never getting changed anyway, so it's pointless to discuss it." Like, he has some things he just doesn't move on for no reason. Like, he doesn't even play the game, so I don't know why he's trying to keep certain things that he seems to enjoy when it's just him that wants them in. And then other times, like, he just gets weird ideas because I don't know where he gets them from. Like, maybe from playing St0uty, but then like some certain kick ideas that he's thinking about now, I don't think would be too good for the game. Like, all he needs to do is just see what the best ideas are and elite ideas and just put them in the game. Like, and that's all really he needs to do at this point in the game's lifespan. If he's not going to be anything, if he's not going to be creative himself, at least he should just put in the ideas that are good from the players, including game modes as well. So the biggest problem with Mordhau right now is you didn't play the alpha, did you?
No.
So
wait, was it closed alpha or was it
Yeah, it was closed. Yeah, you had to
then no.
purchase it in the Kickstarter.
I played the beta.
Oh, even the beta. I mean, it's the same thing, right? The only modes that people played were like dueling or last team standing / skirmish, as it's called in Mordhau. But yeah, those are the only 2 modes people played, and that's still the same today. Like, if you're a comp player in this game or like you stream it, the only thing you're playing really is skirmish and dueling, and there's still no game modes besides that. No attempt to make a game mode has been made, like not even like just in drafting up something on paper. The devs have done nothing like that. And then when someone hands them a game mode, aka Gold Rush, they don't decide to make it or like take it and run with it. They just like attack it, even though they made nothing themselves. Or like they tried to, but they just failed magnificently. Like they added the skirmish mode within the economy, and then they just dropped it. I think Spook was making some capture the flag mode, but that got dropped very quickly as well. And now I'm just giving up on comp entirely. Like, absolutely nothing's done towards competitive. No comp content besides some garbage 3v3 ranked mode of maps that are too big.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff they could improve on the game, like in general. I feel like, I know it sounds kind of scummy to say, I think they should hire some more devs to do maybe some events or like more cosmetics and more on map design teams and stuff like that. Maybe some new.
I think they've got way too many of those guys already. Like, their team is like 10 artists and 1 dev, like Marok style dev. I don't know how you describe them.
But
like Coda boys.
It just feels like nothing ever comes out. You know what I mean? Like, especially like a lot. Obviously, there's like veteran players, like a lot of the sweatier players, level 200 and so. You know, we've played the game for a while, but. A lot of the new players, they come in and they don't really see anything at it. Like, take Drunken Jesus for an example, right? He's gotten like 1 patch since he started playing, and the patch gave literally nothing but a couple of skins and chamber frame to parry, you know, nerf and a little bit of animation change, but besides that, you know, nothing too crazy. And you know, it feels kind of bad knowing that they make a lot of stuff, but they don't put it out. Like, for me, what I would like for them to do would be...
Wait, what? They make stuff? What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They make some skins, you know what I mean? Like, they at least put it out something like each month, like some
I think what they're doing now,
they're
deliberately doing that, so they've probably got content already, but they're just waiting cynically until Shiv 2 releases to put it all out at the same time as Shiv 2, because like it's honestly kind of pathetic to be honest when you think about it. They're actually scared of Shiv 2. They shouldn't be, right? Because Tom Banner's never been known to make great melee titles, but they're actually scared of Shiv 2, so now they're hiding away all their content for the release of Shiv 2, where they're gonna like try and just really dunk on it with a big patch, and just pretend like, look at all this content we have, but it's just content they should have released earlier. Takes them like months to produce it, but then they're delaying it even longer just to time it with the Shiv 2 release.
Yeah, that is true. I do think that they actually should be scared of Shiv 2 to some extent, because all the players that don't like Mordhau right now, that are buying it because it's too hard or it's not easy enough for them to get into, Shiv 2 will fit them very well because it's much easier to play.
Yeah, there's
much
some
more
dumb
casual,
narrative
fun feel
like,
to it.
Yeah, like, oh, they're making it for casuals, bro. But no, it's just that the gameplay mechanics are bad. Like, Mordhau works fine with casual. If you have a good game that works at the very top level, it works fine with casuals too. Like, the whole... You have to design a game entirely to fit a casual audience is stupid,
That is
I think.
true.
Because a good game should be able to scale at any competitive level, and if it doesn't, then it's just only good for like a few hours until people figure out how to break it, and it doesn't work anymore, and everyone stops playing it.
Yes, I agree with that. I do think that a lot of the problems with the casual community is that they expect a super easy game. It's kind of like choosing something like Call of Duty over Tarkov, right? Like one of the games are pretty hard to get into and requires a good amount of skill. The other one is more run and gun, and I think that a lot of people that haven't really looked into Mordhau, they just see it on sale or see one YouTube video of it and say, it looks easy enough. They come in, get their shit kicked in super hard, get super mad and flame all the higher level players and that kind of stuff. So I think it's a lot of it's like an attitude problem a lot as well.
That's honestly why they should, after they complete the tutorial, they should do like a Staudi coaching advert, I think.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you know, I think that it's I think we have some good people in the community that does a lot for the community to make it stay alive, you know. Like, we have people like Solved and Sweps making maps. We have all these new mods.
Has made more modes and maps than Tritonian have in the last year, I think. Like, honestly, they need to just hire King Despacito. Just don't give him even like a job role. Like, he's just the guy that's making game fun.
Yep,
like, actually experimenting with it, making modes, making maps that look good. Like, his maps honestly look better than most of Tritonian's maps. Or like, at least certain aspects of them, like the lighting, for example, they just look really, really high quality. I don't know why they haven't hired him yet. They did actually buy his captain's mode off of him, but then they didn't put it into the game, just again to show that they have no idea when it comes to modes. Like, they are so just creatively bankrupt is how I describe it when it comes to game design. Like, it's just making a game.
I can't believe it, man. Like, they sold over 1 million copies when the game first launched, right?
Yeah.
And how the fuck come there not being more than, like, how many maps has launched since the game actually in total? What, 6, 5?
It was Islands, that big one on the islands, and Fatoria, right? It's like 3.
Dude, what?
Is there more? Oh, I guess they have like the small maps for rank 2. You count
no
those
one
ones,
gives a fuck about those.
No one wants to play on them. Not even the people that play ranked want to play on those maps.
Like, when you play ranked, you want to have the best FPS possible. You don't want to go to fucking arena and that kind of shit, because this be really
I mean, I kind of understand it, because when streamers do come in, it is some of the only content that's available, so you might as well make it look good. But that also shows just how little content there is when half the time these big streamers like Summit, when they do play, they play ranked 3v3 skirmish. Like, that's the only content. Kind of depressing, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. I do agree. I think it's actually quite sad how they managed the game. I was super stoked about the game before it came out, and actually when I heard about the game, was a little bit before it launched. Actually, not too. No, wait, never mind. Actually, I knew about it for a while, but I never supported it because I honestly didn't expect it to blow up. I was kind of like, you know.
Oh, I knew it would succeed, yeah, man. Like, I was shilling it for a while. V as well. Like if any 4chan hackers are here, if you go on like the 4chan archives and search Mordhau, like the first post people were making it, that was me. I was like hyping up for a while. I got it like a few million views on Facebook and stuff. Like
wow.
I had a few videos that started to blow up back in alpha. Like I had this BR one that got like 250k views.
Holy
and then
shit.
that got me some people from like these gaming sites that just like not steal, but like they go around asking permission to use your content in their compilation videos, like these big like we are gamers channels on Facebook, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
One of those like contacted me, and then I watched how they did, and they got like a few million views as well. So I knew like that Mordhau was. I think a lot of people did that. It had like a lot of the talent behind it. Like Marox is obviously insane. Like all the map designers are really sick, and like the game just looked really good. Like it's obviously going to do well.
Yeah.
And it's just they didn't really adapt to their success because it took them years to start hiring people. Like they've only just started hiring people now.
Yeah, it's way too late.
Took them like 2 years to put in, or a year and a half to put in 3v3 matchmaking skirmish, which should have been out like 2 months max after launch.
Yeah, I agree. Like that doesn't seem like a super complicated thing to make when you already have like the 1v1 ranked system in, and you already have like bigger scale game modes with multiple people on each side. It seems like it shouldn't be that hard to make. But I don't know.
I don't know anything about programming, so I don't know how complicated it is. But it feels like they should have been able to do it sooner, or at least they should have focused on it. I don't know what they had like a scuffed launch though. Like the servers weren't working, so I guess they have that excuse. But still.
Okay, so I have something interesting here from White. You heard of the Vasti upcoming third-party service, like based for Mordhau?
Or wasn't Venetus meant to be doing something like that, but then they just kind of dipped and stole all the money. So yeah, I don't think a matchmaking service is what the game needs, because like what it needs is a game modes. Like no one cares like who's winning more skirmish scrims. Like people don't care about that.
Yeah.
It's a neat idea if someone did get it working, but it's not going to do anything for the play count and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I want to ask Jax about. I know he doesn't have a huge influence, but I think, you know, he's coming on this as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to come on this month, actually, by the way, reveal guys. And I'm going to ask him some questions about some more community-based stuff. Probably it's not going to lead to anything at all, but I would love to, like, hear what his thoughts are, you know, on like making comp a little bit of a thing, and like just do some small tournaments. It doesn't have to be huge money prizes or anything. Just maybe like $200, $300, something. Just, you know, the smallest things would get all of the you know, comp players.
They would have done it by now if they're going to do that.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Particularly unique idea, but I don't know if anyone could do it. Jax would. Like, did you know that for like the first 6 months of the leaderboards, it was just occupied by Australian boosters? And I've
heard a little bit about that.
Just complaining to Jax constantly. Like even after they put ranked out, it was just it's filled with boosters, and they didn't give a shit about it. Like I was asking Marox, like, can you fix this? Can you do this? And it took them like 2 or 3 months to finally sort that out.
Yeah, I honestly think that it completely shook the fact, like the devs, the fact that how much it blew up. I think that they knew it was gonna be successful, but I don't think they expected like 1 million copies. You know, I think that might have like
probably like had suspicions it might do that, but they just didn't want to like think about it. Like they probably just didn't want to like get their hopes up or something. Like Crush was getting kind of like depressed near launch, like, man, what if it flops, man? But I was like, yeah, it's not gonna flop, and it didn't. Now it's gonna relic.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's, you know, like, I know that the devs are getting a lot of hate, and I do also think that a lot of it is justified, but I do want to give Jax a little bit of praise for wanting to come on like you are now, like later this month. I think it shows some initiative, at least coming in, listening to the community, where people can ask him questions directly, instead of it being that kind of stuff where you
at the end of the day,
something.
The stuff he brings up in the meetings, if the rest of the devs don't want to do it, it's just not going to get done. Like, yeah, it's not really like, yeah, because at the end of the day, it is just down to what everyone agrees to in those big meetings they have.
Yeah. But I didn't really mean development-wise, but more like he is a community manager, right? So I think it's cool that he does something like with the community, instead of, you know, a lot of the stuff is going on behind closed doors.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like if Jax could, he'd do things a lot differently as well. Like, you can't really blame Jax for.
No, he's a really nice guy in my opinion. Like, I've never had any bad experience with him. I've talked to him a good amount of times now. He seems really nice, and like he's a cool guy, you know. So yeah, I'm excited to have him on as well sometime. I don't know how much like the community will gain from it, but I think it would be nice for the community to also like get to see him in another way.
Someone asked me what I thought about Renown, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. I've been talking to Zombo Joe, who's like head dev of it. Pretty excited.
What is that game? Is that the more open worldish game that's like Mordhau?
Yeah, like Rust and Shiv / Mordhau.
Oh shit! Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, I think I can actually make a video of it at some point, because you may have seen some other YouTubers have been playing like a very early version of it, and I think I'll be able to also put a video at some. Well, I'll wait till it's like a bit more polished, and then I'll do like some gameplay of it or something.
Yeah, do that, man. That would be sick.
Because that could be something that could actually spark some interest in the genre. It says it's not like really that competitive up front. Like the whole appeal of it will be, you know, the Rust style gameplay loop of making a base, like some role playing and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, having a really skillful combat system, which will encourage players to experience what we've been playing for the last few years. Well, that kind of gameplay. Yeah,
I think that's interesting. I think it's nice that the melee slasher genre is starting to get a little bit of traction, because you know it is a niche genre, and like it's obviously never gonna be like MOBAs or FPS and MMORPGs.
Because like when you look at MOBAs, like I think MOBAs are a dying genre, and I've been gaming since like age. I mean, look at the player count on Dota. Like that's just been surpassed completely by CS:GO, which is a much more simple game to get into. And yeah, as I was saying, I've been gaming for like since I was age like 5 or 6 or something, and I look at a MOBA and I still have no idea what the hell is going on the screen. Like it's just too complicated. I'm amazed it's as big as it is, because it really is like one of the most obtuse and hard games to get into.
It is true, MOBAs are very hard, but I think like games like League of Legends is also. I mean, I fucking hate that dog shit game. I fucking played it for like what 9 years and fucking hated that shit. Like, it's the kind of game you can become addicted to, but you actually hate it because you can tell that they don't give a fuck about the community. Honestly, it's the kind of, and you know, I feel like a lot of people feel a little bit about the same way with Mordhau, but then when you realize that it's like a multi-billion-dollar company, right, with fucking thousands of employees, then it starts to rub you the wrong way, like big time. That they literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like they've been doing the right thing with Valorant, though. That actually seems to be positioned to maybe take out CS, at least esport-wise. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I haven't actually played Valorant, but just from it seems like it's killing the NACS scene.
It is very fun, actually. It's just like, there's one thing that people don't like about the game, it is that they do, like, Riot has this bad habit of doing something called power creeps, where they release something that is broken just to sell a lot of skins and that kind of shit, and then they'll nerf it after. That's what they do in League. They also do that here with new heroes sometimes, and the problem is also that the skins you can buy in the game are extremely fucking expensive. Like, they're really expensive. So, you know, they know how to do a free game well, but man, they will make sure that you spend a ton of money on it as well. If you first buy... When you burst, like, fuck me, I can't speak English. When you bought your first skin, you're already fucked, because you will be buying, like, a lot of them over time. Like, I don't know how much I've spent on League of Legends. I have 2 perm-banned accounts. I'm not seen any of that shit again ever. I fucking quit that bullshit game. Like, I literally got perm-banned for saying fuck off to someone that said, I hope your mom dies of cancer. Yeah, fair game, by the way. No, shit like that. That's what I like about Mordhau. If you get heated, at least you can tell people to go and fuck right off. You know, you won't be banned from that.
Depends how you word it.
What?
It depends how you word it.
Yeah, I guess so, man. But like again, you know, there's a difference between like.
Well, no, I don't think you only get game banned if you like include their home address or something in insult.
Yeah, that's true. But like in League of Legends, for example, just saying fucking noob or some shit like that will quite literally get you banned. Like it's like Chinese censor at this point, to be honest. You can't even do banter, because if it rubs someone wrong like one time and you get reported, you're kind of fucked. But I do agree that like it's good that games have banter, because a little bit of toxicity is healthy for competitive games. It makes it fun as well when you're beating someone. It also makes you want to beat people more when they shit talk you. You know what I mean? but obviously there's got to be a limit to it as well. There's no need for doxing or like, you know, life death threats and that kind of shit, or swatting and all of this kind of bullshit that sometimes comes with streaming these kind of games. It's kind of fucked up, really. I don't understand why people would dox or would dox people. It seems kind of weird to me. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone here, not everyone here, but people know my name. It's literally in the title, and I don't care if people know my last name really either. It's kind of like, okay, you know. Okay, so I actually have a couple more questions for you. Are you up to play a game real quick?
You mean like 3v3?
No, fuck no, 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 not Mordhau. Okay, you probably know the game Marry Fuck Kill, right?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Do you want to play a game?
Like Bear, Crush.
No, I've picked 3 for you, but we can do one of your choosing as well if you want to.
Alright, go for it. What was it?
Okay, we have Bruno, we have Lord, and we have Red Blue.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. Why would I want to kill any of these people?
You have to. It's not a choice.
You should have like changed it to like something Mordhau related, like 1st to 10 shit talk.
Okay. Okay. How about this? First to 10, box, and
DDoS.
And hot date. What about that?
Next question.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, what would make Mordhau perfect in your eyes then? Like, what would make the game much better for you? Like, if you could cut down to 3 things.
They've got 2 options they could do here. One of them is really easy. It's all in the game already. All they need to do is remove every mode besides Battle Royale. Put Battle Royale onto the main menu. The game is now a BR game. This would actually fix Mordhau's no content issue. And because then BR is the best content Tritonian's ever actually made officially for the game. And the only reason it's not populated is because everyone just plays these shitty frontline game modes because they think they enjoy them. So if you forced everyone into BR, significantly better game, everyone would be having more fun and it'd probably do a lot better. So that's one thing they could do, like very easy solution. It's all in the game already. Next solution would be to like gradually improve the game, put in Gold Rush as like a game mode, like maps, good game design.
What the fuck is Gold Rush? I don't actually think I've heard about that.
What the fuck are you on about? How do you not know what Gold Rush is?
Because
Do you not do your research? Like, you went straight into this interview without looking up the best game mode that's ever graced Mordhau.
I'm actually not sure what it is. I've probably heard about it, but like I'm actually not sure what it is.
Let me tell you about it. So basically, it's so the problem with designing a game mode of this game, like when it comes to like 5v5 competitive, is that most game modes with objectives, they always revolve around one big team fight, right? So for example, like let's look at Frontline. You know, in the final objective we have to kill the king or something. The best way to complete that objective is just to get a team fight and then kill the king. Or if like the objective is to burn tents, the best way to complete it is just to like win a team fight and then burn the tents, right? So whenever you have an objective, unless it's designed in a very specific way, that the best way of completing it is to win a team fight. And if that's the case, there's not much point playing that game mode rather than just playing skirmish, because skirmish does team fighting the best because it's just a raw team fight, right? With no respawns, no extra bullshit in the way. It's just the most clean experience to enjoy a team fight.
So is Gold Rush the kind of invasion stuff that there is in tourneys sometimes?
No. So invasion is just garbage, and it's never going to be good for competitive due to the respawnings. When a team respawns, it just ruins the flow of the game. It means everyone that's I just made up a word, by the way. Respawnings. Anyway, yeah. So whenever you have spawns in the game, you get this thing called like kill fatigue, where no one kill really matters because soon enough another wave is going to come in. So the clutch plays all diminished. It also means that whenever you're down in the team fights, let's say you go in it with a push and like 2 of your teammates die straight away, the best play for the rest of the team there is just a suicide or like click the end key, because chances are you're not going to win that push, and just by continuing to fight the push you're losing time on the clock. So the best play there is just a suicide. So any game mode where trying to suicide is going to be like a meta is never going to work out. It's always going to fail. So you need to design a mode with objectives that don't encourage it's just a straight team fight, and in a way that spawns don't like dilute the game. So Gold Rush was my attempt of this. It's very similar to the Counter-Strike where you got 2 sites, but you can't just take Counter-Strike and put it into Mordhau, right? Because you can imagine how it'd play out. So the T side would just rush one site, and because there's 1v-Xing is very difficult, they would just clear that site out. So that wouldn't really work out. So the way that I kind of balanced it is defenders can respawn, because that has to be the case. It's too hard for the defenders at the start of the round to deal with being outnumbered, so you have to give defenders respawn, and then attackers don't respawn. So even though there are some spawns, it's done in a way that you don't really get this kill fatigue issue, and the time between spawns doesn't mean that there shouldn't be a constant trickle of enemies. In some of the tests that was the case, where the defenders could just keep trickling in, and that did kind of ruin some play sessions, but that's something that can be fine-tuned. And at no point is suiciding ever really a good play, because if you're an attacker and you suicide, then you can't spawn. And defenders don't really ever need to do that, because they're not the ones trying to complete the objective. It's fine if they can stall. So
but what is their objective then? Is it just capturing a point, or?
No, so capturing a point's not a very good objective, because it's too easy to do with one person. So the way it works is there's 2 objectives, and you can complete both of them. It's not like in CS where you just need to pick A or B. You can complete either. You can complete both of them to get extra points. And the objective is, I think it's one of the best objectives you can have in this genre. It's you break down a door. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to break down the door. I think in the test sessions we did, it was too long to break it. Oh,
it's the way you need to yoink the goal off of that thing?
Yeah. And there's 3 bags in each site, and you're meant to take the 3 bags back to your spawn.
Okay.
So it's pretty simple. It ties quite nicely with an economy system, again giving some depth to the game modes, and it doesn't mean that one person can just like sneak into the site and complete it entirely. So one person can only take 1 bag, which again is quite a good design.
I have heard about that. I had no clue it was called Gold Rush though, but now when you say it right, it kind of makes sense with the name, right? Okay, that's interesting. I think that would be very fun actually. If they
I mean, it was fun. Like from the first playtest, everyone was having a great time with it. I mean, the map wasn't great. There's probably some balancing issues with the spawns and that kind of thing. But all I was trying to accomplish with Gold Rush, that during that testing stuff, even with the Pavis shields, was just to make sure it worked, and it did work. And at that point, the devs should have taken it and actually made it into a game mode, because we did our job there. It's just showing that this game mode works. But instead, they just shit talked it, like Crush, like, "Hey man, this game's shit, man. It's got too much running in, man." And then you play in frontline and you spawn in, you run for like 30 seconds before you find an engagement.
And then you die for a catapult, then it's all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just a shame that they don't take more of stuff into consideration. Like, we have this, what is it called? The game mode where you're like, there's one guy that's evil that hunts all the others. It's not really Battle Royale. They have it's like
zombies.
Yeah, zombies, for example. That would be fun as fuck as well. Like, I would love to play that with
Eggplant
viewers.
made that infection mod. They should have made that into official game modes. Another opportunity missed there.
Yeah, I agree.
Did they do that? Is there official infection servers, or is that not a thing? There should have been anyway.
Oh yeah.
The problem is, whenever someone makes a good mod, it always breaks after the next patch.
Yeah.
So even if you do make a really good mod and like it's a good game mode, it is going to fall apart every couple of months. What I mean, every 6 months. Yeah, that's the Mordhau patch schedule.
Yeah, it's true. It's a shame. If you could remove one weapon from Mordhau, what would you pick and why?
Wait, could I remove a weapon? Sorry.
If you can remove one weapon from Mordhau, which one would you pick and why?
Right, let me have a quick look. I don't know. They're all. The thing is, like, all of them play identically. Basically, like you have like great sword weapons, which all you just like casino drag them, and like they all have like these really floaty wind ups and like these instant releases. I mean, there's no one weapon that's just like. I mean, I guess that means the balance is done okay currently. Like, there's nothing that's just super busted right now, I don't think. I don't know, I guess maybe Sledgehammer, just because it doesn't really fit in with the game. Like, it's this very weird peasant weapon that is just actually the strongest weapon in the game, but people forget about it because they play peasant. Probably Sledgehammer, just because like it's busted stamina-wise. But yeah, it's nothing. I think the game balance, like weapon-wise, is mostly fine. Like, it's nothing's too.
How do you feel about the new Zweihander buff?
Uh,
I think it's kind of fucked. I'm not gonna lie. It's really, really hard to read.
maybe
Like
a little bit too
later
strong, but
post
I
on it.
don't think Spyhand is the best weapon right now. So I don't know. Maybe it's
I
deserved.
think that stuff like Evening Star is
Evening Star
always
is
gonna be
probably the
better.
best weapon. I'd say
Yeah.
best weapon right now is either Mesa or Evening Star.
Hmm.
I'd say if you're a good player, you take the Mesa because you can punish with it, and then if you're a bad player, you take Evening Star because you can't punish with it because it's too slow, but you can two-shot. So that's how I
Yeah.
would say it.
You don't need to land more than one hit and then just do a couple of feints. Like in the most cases, that will actually win you a duel with an Evening Star. Obviously, if
With
you're
Mesa,
talking
you
like
can't
super
do it.
high up in ranked, then obviously that's not always going to be the case. But you can always use it with mix-ups as well. Feel like Evening Star is a little bit of a dirty weapon to play. It's like
Yeah,
it's so good for you know, first to tens and stuff like that because it has really good swing manip in my opinion. It's very hard
Yeah,
to
it's
read some
busted.
of the animations it has.
That's every weapon. Like, every weapon's completely broken. Like Maul as well.
Yeah.
You think Maul you could read it, but you can't. It's instant when you excel it.
Dude,
It just has a very long
Rex.
wind up, but when it enters release, it's still as fast as any other weapon.
Yep, true. And that's actually, I feel like that's actually a good thing sometimes, right? Because that just makes for Excel timings being like catching you off guard sometimes. I think that its stab tracks as well is just fucking insane. Like, it literally stands still in the air and then you just yoink it back into people and it just fucking, like, you can get behind the parry with it and shit like that sometimes. Super weird. And such a short weapon as well.
I don't think it's good for the game though, that every weapon's instant.
Oh yeah, by the way, chat is asking, would you want free to play in Mordhau?
I mean, probably because then that would help me out in terms of like viewership, coaching, and everything. So sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would do that.
True. I also think it would be good for the game actually getting, like I mean,
It's not that
at least
simple,
lower
they
the
just
price
free
now.
play.
Lower the price at least lower the price if not, because I think it's kinda $30
I mean, if they're gonna
for
do
what you
free
get
play, they should
right
wait
now.
and have
It's
some
not
good
worth it.
content.
You know, like $15 would be fine for a game like Mordhau that doesn't really get any content out, but like you expect a game that been out for 2 years for $30.
I think it's
more.
a fine price point. I mean, they're charging less than Chivalry 2, and they have a better game than Chivalry 2, so I think price point wise it's fine. It's just whether or not you think the model of free to play would be better than the model how they're currently doing it. I don't really mind. And also, it's not as simple. They don't have to. I remember people used to say the same thing about Chivalry, but it's not. You can't just have like a free to play button. You have to like change everything about the game, the way it's coded, for it to then be a free to play title. There's a lot of things you need to change with it. So I don't think it'd ever go that route.
No, I don't think so either.
That whole philosophy has been not having DLC that's paid for, which would then mean their current model wouldn't work. They'd have to then make. You'd have to buy like the crown helmet and stuff for it to, you know what I mean? Like you'd have to buy every new cosmetic that came out.
Yeah, maybe do a battle pass system that was like very cheap. So if they, let's say in a perfect world, if they made like obviously the perfect world would just be them spitting out content and fixing the game, you know, as it is, right? But let's say that they put out a battle pass, right? And the game is free, and you can then choose to pay for it, and you can...
they could do that anyway, though, right? They could still do battle passes.
They
and
could,
DLC
but it's just
items
kind of a
without paying
scam,
for
really,
it.
doing that in games you're already paid for. That's like a free-to-play
Not really
kind
a
of
scam,
thing.
though, is it? Because you spent... I don't know how much most people spent on it. I imagine like something like $20 or $30. And if you think about the amount of hours of enjoyment you got... Maybe not enjoyment, the amount of hours of playtime you have. You probably justify spending some more on it. Otherwise,
that is true, but I also do think that a lot of people are refunding Mordhau after before the first 2 hours because they get so frustrated. I think that if it were free and people got the opportunity to try it, didn't I feel like it might be better for some players, not necessarily us. But then again, they're like players that have been stuck through the game, even though it's been going up and downhill like many times and like being super wobbly with that. I think that, we're just kind of settling with the fact that Mordhau is just a fucking cursed game in terms of production and gameplay, so we're just playing it anyways. But I think it would be good for getting new players in if they made it free to play and then maybe found a way to still make money off of it. Let's say there's a battle pass, then you can choose to pay for it, you can choose not to. You can get some special cosmetics, you can get some extra gold or double XP for an hour, just like whatever the fuck, right? I don't like battle passes, but I do think at a state of the game as it is right now, and how like far in they are, and how little they have accomplished with it, considering the success they had to begin with, I think that might actually not be a super bad idea. I don't like microtransactions and that kind of stuff, but I feel like if you do it right, then it can be fine, you know, as long as it's not super aggressive and it feels forced. It should never be like with weapons that are like stronger and that kind of stuff. Mainly just cosmetics and XP and gold. What do you think of that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. That's it. That's your opinion. You know, it sounds good.
Yeah, if it's done right.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think Apex is doing it in a nice way, actually. I don't play it, but like, I like the system they have in that. I think it's good. Like, PUBG kind of did what like PUBG went free to play, right? And I think so, and they now have a battle pass. Yeah, it's kind of smart. But you know, fuck, man, I just wish that Mordhau had like gotten like a better start than it did production-wise. I feel like they really want to fix the game without really knowing, because I don't know the devs. But I also feel like some of them.
They can't even play the game. Why do they want to fix it?
Nah, I think like I don't know, man. I feel like Cross is not fired only because of the fact that he's on contract or some shit. You know, I always...
They can't fire him because he owns like 10% of the company, so how could he do that?
Fuck. Okay, that's why. I don't know, a lot of people say that, you know? That they don't think, like, they don't understand why he's not fired. If he owns 10% of the game, then yeah, I can kind of see that.
I think a lot of the hate Crush gets is kind of like, I don't know, what I'm saying is they need to dish out the hate equally between the team, because half of that team with comp chivalry, and yet none of them have really stepped up to support competitive, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So that weighs on all of them, not just Crush. It's most annoying of Crush because he's like the game designer guy, but at the end of the day, you got Spook, who was playing Shiv comp, and you had Marox. I think El Wabaro played comp. I think Vesnus did as well. I don't know. There's definitely a few names there that were all doing comp Shiv, and it's been completely ignored. Like, not even just partially ignored. I mean, completely. Like, what have they done? They made a crown helmet, and they give in-game gold, and that's, as far as I know, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Out on like Reddit threads. So I think that's like, I can't think of words to describe my disgust at that, but it's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. Sickening.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I do think it's also become a little bit of a trend and a meme to hate on Cross. Like, for example, if I fuck up or do something similar, like, thanks Cross, you know, it's kind of that thing where it's now become like he's just the scapegoat of the game to some extent. And yeah, I know, I kind of feel a little bad for him on some extent, because everyone fucking hates him and no one even knows him, but it's also like...
Yeah, I feel like Marox probably has to take a fair share of the blame, because at the end of the day, you'd expect him to be the one that's doing the, like the roadmaps and where the game is meant to be taken. And he even sort of addressed this on Reddit. I remember about a year ago, I think it was, he made a big post on Reddit saying how he's acknowledged that perhaps the way they aimed at these big player servers and that kind of 64 player experience possibly wasn't the right thing to do, and they might have seen more success focusing on smaller team modes, seeing as that's what was the majority of the testing in the alpha was made for, small team experiences, and that perhaps that'd be something they'd be willing to look at in the future. But since then, they haven't really done anything when it comes to small team modes or small team experiences, which is, if you look at the big games on Steam, Twitch, look at the top played games on Steam like CS, Dota, watch games. Let's just check what's the biggest game on Twitch right now: League, Rainbow Six, CS:GO, Valorant, Apex, all small team modes. Well, I guess that's a BR game, so it's not really that small team. Dota, and they're also mainly competitive esports titles, which is something Mordhau could fit in, like I mentioned earlier, where it's not quite a fighting game. So it could do the 1v1 fighting game style, it could do the CS 5v5 style, it could do all kinds of modes, and yet they've done nothing with that. No experiment.
You know what I would love in the game? I would love a fucking gun game.
Yeah, that's
that would be funny as fuck.
Someone's made a mod for that already. Like that stuff like that, they could just put that straight into the game.
That would be so cool. Imagine playing with like all your viewers. There's like 30 in there. You start off with a fucking great sword, and you end up with a carrot or some shit. It would be funny as fuck.
That does exist. At least maybe it doesn't anymore because you know how the patches break the mods, but that was playable at one point. I remember playing that on
I wish I'd
stream.
known about that. I would have been playing that shit every day. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's
There's
such a shame.
really talented modders out there, but I think what they need to do is when someone makes a good mod like that, they need to just put it into the game because otherwise it will just get forgotten about and then broken.
Yeah.
When inevitably it gets patch update.
I agree. I think
it's
a shame that the community literally carries the fucking game on its back. Like, it's all the modders, it's all the fucking comp players that host all the tournaments. Like, all the maps that are coming are made mainly by modders.
It hasn't really been like that mod yet that's really been influential. Like, the biggest influence has been probably like Staudi Contraband, and that's just like a copy of the Contraband map the devs made, but with playable FPS. So it hasn't really been like. There's been really good attempts, like for example, Despacito, Wheeze, Eggplant. Like they've made, I think that's his name. They made some really good mods, but nothing yet that's really like. Oh, I guess Plow Star Wars probably is the most notable example of mod that's really added content to the game, because that's the thing everyone actually plays, competitive or otherwise. They play that Star Wars mod.
But I also like, if you take stuff like dueling into consideration, like we have stuff like Adamant, we have had stuff like Terracotta, we now have the new
yeah, but that's not exactly like groundbreaking. It's just like
of course not, but it's still like, it kind of shows that even though you know, it is like, let's be real, duel is one of the most not important, but one of the most played game modes, right?
Yeah, it's definitely
game modes, right?
Good to have a map, yeah.
You know, I think it's cool to see that people constantly are trying to like push the limits on maps a little bit, making them bigger and bolder, and there's so much stuff that's going into consideration, like making them potato moded or.
Staudi Contraband FFA is the best duel map, and every duel server should change to Staudi Contraband FFA. Just want to put that out there. I don't like this new dojo map. I mean, it's pretty cool, but
I like it a lot. I think it's good.
Staudi Contraband FFA is the best duel map, best skirmish map. Staudi makes the best maps when it comes to just good FPS, but also not looking terrible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that also the new field of view map. I don't like the field of view because I fucking can't get used to it. So I'm like some grumpy old man, right? You know, I fucking hate that I suck on it, but I think it's really cool, and I hope that they will actually make that an option in the game for like at some point. Obviously they would have to like fucking remake
the
characters.
That's been and done. That's one of those things I never go back down on, because they don't want all the videos to look weird.
Yeah, but don't you think that if they actually like fix the player models to be able to fit that it could look fine?
No, it's one of those things Crush isn't going to want to change, and I think the other devs probably don't want it either.
Do you think that at least should add it to all tournament servers? Do you think that they should all be hosted with that field of view possible?
It wouldn't particularly bother me, but at this stage I'd rather they didn't, because you know, someone that does make videos, I don't want it to like get super jarring for people to watch, because a lot of people, I made lots of chivalry videos and you would see every comment like, what is this fishbowl FOV?
Oh
yeah. The amount of people that will watch it. So at this point, probably not. Since we played 2 years now with the FOV pretty well, you've got people backswinging each other anyway on the current FOV. Do you really need like ultra wide? And it doesn't improve the readability anyway, because when you see the instant excels, it's not going to be made any better of the high FOV. They're still going to be just as jarring and disgusting.
I think it's more for 1vx, right? That you have more like you can see more when you lean back, look up, and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I guess when people on the side of you, it might be a little easier to 1vx and stuff like that. I don't know much about SK. I'm dog shit. I'm trying to learn still. So I'm
I mean, look at Bruno. Bruno was saying it's really good. So he's a player that's enjoying it. Yeah, I just at this stage, I don't think there's any point doing it, because the comp scene's dead anyway, pretty much. I guess if it was like a mod, you're saying like, do you think the modded comp scene should have those high FOVs, then maybe I wouldn't really mind too much either way. I'd probably just carry on playing with the current FOV just so that I don't get too used to it, because I need to play ranked as well, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing I have with it right now, is that if I play on that like 120 FOV and I didn't go back to duels, I feel like I'm playing a different game, because everything is super weird. and it does have a little bit of that like fisheye lens effect. And like that's one thing that I fucking could not handle seeing from videos from the alpha is like how the game looked when you were playing. It looks so cursed. And like
I think the FOV was the same one as well.
Yeah, but like just the way that everything looked by you I know you've played it, right? Like the early.
Yeah.
It
Well, I
looks
don't think it was
completely
FOV. It was just
cursed.
the graphics was slightly like.
Yeah,
different
also the
lighting,
animations, but it kind of made everything
Animations
look
haven't
like
changed since then, I don't think. Same animations basically.
Really?
Yeah, there's been like it's been tweaks to it and stuff. Yeah, but it's not that much different.
Let me check real quick. Because like from what I remember seeing, like from people that clipped it, and stuff
Game
like
is smoother now, I will admit.
Yeah.
But it's not like it has been that much different.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it looked kind of cursed, but then again, I never played slasher games before Mordhau, really. I played like 50 hours of Chivalry, Medieval Warfare, and a little bit of like the original mod and stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I only played it with my little brother when he was younger, and I pretty much just played crossbow and tilted him by headshotting him all the time, like, made him all. That was literally the extent of me playing that. So, you know, coming into this genre for me was very fucking hard. Like, I've been used to playing only MOBAs and shooters and that kind of stuff, right? This is completely different. Ask Staudi his thoughts on MLK Day.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite holidays.
What the fuck is
That's what I have to say
MLK
about that.
Day?
These guys are racist. Get them out.
What the fuck is going on?
You know who Martin Luther King is? What's wrong with you?
Oh shit! Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. Yeah, okay. Look, listen. I'm from Denmark, right? We don't have that kind of stuff over here. Like that does not exist in Denmark. We have a lot of weird fucking holidays over here. We don't have anything like that. We have something called Fastelavn though, which is kind of like Halloween. Besides, it's on daytime and it's not spooky, and it's just people coming to your house asking for candy, and if you don't give them anything, they will fucking toilet paper your house. So yeah, you know, that's about what the most exciting thing we have besides Christmas and New Year's Eve. It's not really got anything special here. But like, you know, so I imagine you're probably gonna be playing at Mordhau when it comes out. Do you talk with Gear about that, or is it something that you don't know much about either?
I know nothing about it.
Ah, okay. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't have you sit here and like spoil shit. You know, Gear is gonna be coming on this as well and tell what he can.
I know as much as else does.
Well, are you looking forward to try that out when it comes out? I think the splash art they provided for some of the weapons looks kind of like the style is kind of cool in the weapons. It looks a little almost like mystical in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's just like, who knows what the actual game will look like.
That is very true. That is true. It is hype building.
I don't know what the game will be designed as, so I can't really say. But yeah, I mean, any new iteration of the genre will be exciting to try out.
Yeah, just good with some competition as well. Like the more that makes it, the better for the.
All they need to do, any competitor, all they need to do is just release like a alpha dueling thing, just like something that's you can duel in right now, and just say, yeah, when this game gets going, we're gonna do competitive, and then every competitive streamer play of Mordhau, they'd have no reason to carry on playing Mordhau besides if they just enjoyed it, which I don't think many people do at this stage. So they'd all just go to play that game, even if it wasn't that good of a game. They probably would, even if it was just like slightly better or like slightly worse. Like, so long as they make the promise of supporting comp, that could do a lot just to attract the existing player base over. And then Mordhau would be a dead game on Twitch because the only people that get views besides like some VTubers like Bear Lords, Hero, myself, just like the people that play Juilliard essentially is just the only people that get views. So if they all played whatever game promised competitive esports money teams modes, then that would just obliterate Mordhau overnight.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, if Chivalry takes all the casuals and another game comes out and takes all the sweats because they promised.
I don't think it will be on Epic Games Store. So I think Tritanium got lucky because even though Torn Banner has St0uty's got a lot of things against it, like Torn Banner. If you're not aware, they don't have a great history with their customers. Like, if you go on the original Chivalry Games sub, I mean, recently it's been quite positive, but they used to get the most hate there, Torn Banner. So they're not like a particularly popular company. Like they're coming off the back of one of the biggest flops in gaming, Mirage Arcane Warfare. You probably don't even know what it is.
Oh
right?
yeah, yo, I have a fucking gift key still that I can't give people because the server's offline. Like they fucking yeeted that game.
Probably one of the most insane failures in gaming to ever see the light of day.
It was actually I found it was quite fun. I played like 2 hours or so, nothing else. But like, you know,
terribly.
It died instantly.
So, and Shift 2 is an epic game, so they have all of these things stacked against it. But despite that, the narrative is that it's going to take it's more fun than Mordhau, and like people are going to play it. I don't know if that's actually going to turn out to be true, but imagine if a slightly more competent studio was at the helm there, or like a studio with a better background, better reputation. Imagine SLOTHCAST tried to turn in, they'd probably be like hiring 50 developers, putting crunch into crunch modes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it just kind of shows how vulnerable they are.
I do think though that people are very like, even though like people get fucked in the ass over and over and over by studios, they will still buy it if no one else produces what they're making, right? So let's say right now there's not really any super casual melee slasher games out there that are easy to pick up in like large scale medieval battles. There's pretty much
only.
I
think about farming law in the first attempt 1 hour ago. What was the score? Sorry about that. There's just a new update, first to 10.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry.
Keep track of the cleanings. Who's cleaning who? 10-6. Nice one.
I mean, I'll take you both at the same time. 10-0. I'm just saying.
Chungus.
Yes, I'll fucking eat you both. But you know, I do think that, you know, people are like accepting of getting fucked over and over if no one else can provide. For example, with FIFA, right? All the sports gamers, they're kind of, I'm not gonna, if any of you guys get offended, I'm not sorry, because you fucking asked for it. If you play any of those games, man, they're so fucking stupid. They buy the same fucking shit over and over and over. They get ripped off every year, but because no one else can produce the same kind of game, they have to buy it if they want to keep up, which is kind of fucked, you know. And I think that it's kind of a little bit the same thing here. So even if people don't like the taunt banners,
you have 80 IQ. Like if you're spending £60 on FIFA just to then lose all the progress you made as they shift all like your players over to they don't transfer your players over, right? So you spend £60 on a new game, you lose all your progress you made from like buying your packs and like your fucking trading cards, gambling simulator. And then you don't mind because it's EA and you just do it again anyway. Like FIFA players are just the most brain dead.
It's the same with Call of Duty though. Like now they started now to do it a bit.
After the next game comes out. I'm pretty sure with FIFA they literally shut down the servers for the old game. Like they are the most cucked audience ever.
It's the same for Madden and NBA and all that kind of shit. All the sports games they have a monopoly on. They're just fucking all in the ass. And the worst part is the only way to make them stop is by talk with your wallet, you know, to stop buying, and they will start be forced to fix. People won't, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe a little bit that's kind of the situation with Tom Banner Studios. Even though it doesn't have a good reputation, there will always be newcomers that don't know anything about them that will just see, oh, it looks cool, this looks good, and other people that don't like them might still buy because there's what else new fucking melee slashers coming out like this year.
I hate it when people say, "Oh, it's just the same game as Chivalry," because when you look at the audience, so you look at the titles that get put out, it's every game's an FPS game, and you don't see people saying, "Oh, that's the same as Call of Duty 3 released in 2009." Whereas if you see Mordhau, like, "Oh, this is the same as Chivalry." That game came out like 6 years ago, and you're comparing it. Of course, there's going to be new FPM games. By the way, call it first-person melee. Don't call it melee slasher, because melee slasher doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay,
what does melee slasher mean?
But you can play third-person though in Mordhau.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to. Should get banned. Sorry, Proxanus. So the genre is first-person melee, and if you play third-person, you're basically hacking. And first-person melee actually tells you what the genre is about, whereas melee slasher is just two words that mean the same thing meshed together. So you basically wasted one of your precious few words.
That is actually true. But like, you know what I mean, right? Like when there is so few games of this genre, like that is. Yeah, you know, I do agree. You can't really compare Mordhau and Shiv to. You
can, but it's okay for people to make two of the same genre. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't have to only have one game to be made of a genre. That's not how any other genre functions. So,
no, of course.
Whenever I was defending Mordhau and V, people were like, "Oh, this is a Chevrolet clone," but it's like you then go on like the catalog and you see like 50 FPS games being discussed. So they can't seem to like make those two distinctions. Like it's okay for there to be newer iterations or like different styles, different attempts on the FPM genre.
That's true, but it's kind of rare that games of the genre that we're talking about is coming out that is like known about or like yeah, you know what I mean. Like with Mordhau and Chib, even though they are of same genre, they're also very like they're completely different audience, right? Again, Mordhau attracts probably or like in theory would attract more like competitive players, whereas Chib would probably, the new one at least, you aim for casuals that just want to play with their buddies.
No,
like,
the thing
after
is,
work
they
shit.
both aimed at casuals. That's the black pill right there. Tritonian did not aim their game at competitive. They designed it around competitive, but they didn't aim anything at comp. In fact, they like they did ranked. That's it. So they made one good step in terms of they did eventually put out ranked, which I don't think St0uty is going to do. But besides that, they're basically both casual games. And I think what happened really was Torn Banner saw the success of Mordhau with their purely casual approach, and they're just trying to replicate it for like money. But I hope they do well. But I don't know. We'll see.
But don't you think, or don't you agree that they kind of marketed Mordhau to begin with as being like a high skill ceiling game as well?
Yeah, they definitely did. They definitely hinted at it as well. They were saying that wasn't the case, but if you go back, it's a shame because the Mordhau forums were wiped and deleted, or at least you can't really see anything anymore unless you're a Mordhau forum moderator, which thankfully I wasn't. I'm not a janitor, but if I was, I would go back and find the post Crush was making where it wasn't just Crush, it was like other devs. I think it's definitely Crush made a few posts where it was like, yeah, we're not 100%. There was something like, we're not focusing on esports, but if an esports scene comes about, we will support it. And there definitely has been an esports scene for Mordhau. There has throughout the 2 years, especially at the start, the Mordhau esports scene was actually very big, and they definitely could have supported it, but they chose not to. So they definitely did go back on their word there with their forum suggestions and the posts and general direction that they said they were going to take it, where they weren't looking for esports, but if it found them, they would support it. But that didn't turn out to be the case because they've done nothing to support the comp scene that did.
Yeah, but didn't they get like £15,000 yoinked by some degenerate?
No, that's Venetus.
Something about that. Someone stole prize money for a tournament and people never could pay it.
No, it was Venetus stole money from Venetus. There's nothing to do with Tritonian. And yeah, Skills owes me like $1,000 as well as many other people in the scene.
Oh, really?
But it was like Skills and Galaxy were like the big brains behind Venetus, the esports organization, and then apparently Galaxy ran off with the money that he was meant to, or that he promised to put towards the Venetus funds or something. I don't know. Anyway, Skills pays bills, has not paid my bills. That's all I have to say.
2 seconds. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. I would love to see Mordhau like thrive in comp scene with some proper support from the devs and some like maybe even just like if not host your own tournaments, then at least put some effort and some money into some of the community-based ones, some of the big ones, like when there's big draft tournaments and stuff like that.
And that actually make videos, and everyone else will be able to stream it and make their own videos. And some of the best performing videos that were ever made of Mordhau on YouTube and stuff, like anytime people mention like me or Guru, they probably think of like that football hooligan thing where we like messed around in tournaments, like role playing as Spartans as Millwall fans. Like, that's all we're known for, and that was based from an esports event. So by not supporting esports events, they've made it so no more videos like that really can get created, because now there's not that much interest in tourneys from the player base.
Yeah, what's
so short-sighted.
Oh yeah, go on.
What's that? I'm just saying, yeah, like that would have actually generated the money just by giving $1,000 a month into competitive, a tiny amount compared to the millions they made individually. Just by giving $1,000 a month, they would be able to generate so much more interest in their game, but they don't do that just because they're so short-sighted is probably the best way to describe it.
I mean, it's a shame. I think that it would be awesome if there was more, you know, like more of a comp scene. You know, it's a, like, but then again, it's also kind of hard, I think, to like if they were to make an esport of Mordhau, I don't think they could, honestly, if they wanted to, just because of the fact that it's such a niche genre as well that probably no one would see it besides people playing Mordhau, or maybe some Shiv as well. But
that's not
no.
true. It really is seen by millions of people. Like that, those videos I just mentioned got hundreds
The one
of
with
thousands.
Giro and the Twitch rival stuff.
I mean that one as well, but also I just mean the one that was an actual like Mordhau competitive event, like the football one and the Spartans one. Like those ones on my channel got like 250k views. I think Gary's got a million.
Damn.
Yeah. So and there's obviously more people watching that don't play the game. So it's not just something that's only watched by players. It's actually lots of new
potential buyers of the game.
There's potential people that could watch it, draw interest to it, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, shit, it's kinda... You know, I love Mordhau, but fuck, I also hate it sometimes. I really, like, and I kind of hate it out of the standpoint that I want it to be better than it is, and you kind of hate the fact that the chances of it is so slim now, and, you know, I kind of lost my faith in it a little bit, not gonna lie.
It's kind of come to that realization, unless they hire me, Bear, and King Despacito to fix it. That's the only way they can save the game, but that's not going to happen, so it's whatever next game comes out that does it right.
Do you think they're going to make another game like Mordhau in the future? Or another IP, maybe?
I would say it's going to fail, but seeing as Tom Banner seems to have... they're doing pretty well with Shift 2, and they've come from a way worse place, and I'm sure whatever Tri-Turn releases is probably going to do well. If it actually has like a good design, it has to be something people want, because Mordhau was something everyone wanted. They wanted a better Shiv, but then now what can they make? Like, what would their next game be? Probably not even multiplayer. I don't know. They'd probably just do like some single player warband style Mordhau-esque gameplay, something that doesn't have to involve a bunch of sweaty people like breaking animations and stuff. That's probably the way what they've probably seen recently is the success of Valheim Bannerlord when it comes to their own player account and like sales, and they're probably thinking, oh, okay, we should have just done that. We should have just made like horde mode the game rather than making like a really good competitive game.
Yeah.
Or like attempt to make a good competitive game, because it's way easier to do some single player title than it is to like do a multiplayer title. Probably, I don't know, maybe that's not the case. So I imagine if they were going to release a second game, it probably would just be like some very single player PvE focused.
It would be cool if they made something like Rust, like the other game there. It would be cool, maybe something in that. Maybe even like it would actually be cool if they made something like not an MMORPG, but like it made the shit. They would be cool if they made an MMORPG as well, where. Then again, how the fuck would you implement a combat system into that? You probably couldn't. But it would be cool to them to do something like more fantasy based, like some open world shit, maybe.
I'm not sure if they'd be in a rush to do that after Arcane Warfare, but who knows?
Yeah.
I think if it was like traditional setting with like just Mordhau, but with like fireball spells, that'd probably do well. But yeah, I don't know.
Like imagine Skyrim with Mordhau combat. That'd be fucking cool. Fighting trolls and shit.
I would just be slightly bitter that they didn't really like deliver on the Mordhau hype. I mean, maybe we'll see what happens after Eastern Invasion comes out, and then they probably will have fulfilled like all their initial promises when it comes to like the Kickstarter. I mean, Eastern Invasion wasn't even something they had to make, seeing as they didn't get the Kickstarter pledging for it, so it's not like they had to do it or anything. But after that, maybe they'll start doing some other stuff game-wise, because they have hired a bunch of new devs. They're thinking of making a studio in Slovenia, but I don't know what's going to happen with people like Crash and stuff. Like, is Crash going to really make another game? I don't know. Like, he doesn't even like
I hope not,
do anything
to
for
be
this
honest.
game.
I hope they boot his ass and hire someone else that actually has some proper passion behind it.
I mean, like, what would he even do? Because it was a single-player title. How is he going to balance that? Yeah. And I mean, I think he still makes some animation and stuff, but they've actually hired a proper animator now. So, like, what happens to Tri-Turnian as a company? Because there's probably a bunch of people that don't want to work anymore if they've made all those millions. I don't know if all of them have the same kind of drive to do it anymore. Yeah, but Crush does everything silent. So, like, he says the amount of all kinds of crazy things. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, I would be open to see if they made something like imagine Mordhau, but where there was maybe like class based. Would also be cool if they had like sorcery and shit like that, where you have like a like a short sword in one hand, and you maybe had like a spell you could use in that. Like, you know, you've played Skyrim, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool. Obviously, it shouldn't be like a competitive game, but I do think that what Mordhau has got right is like the combat system in itself. I mean, it might have flaws and all, but like the idea is good. I think that'd be cool to see in other games.
Mordhau could be one of those games that's like a forever game, kind of like League of Legends, where they don't need to make another version of it. They don't need to make a Mordhau 2. They just need to keep updating it, put modes into the current game. I think they shouldn't really look to make a sequel or anything like that. They just need to like actually use this game and make it into like a household name.
Yeah.
Accounts CS:GO, League, something like that. And it definitely could be possible. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not at this stage, but that would be what I would do personally.
Yeah, I think that if they are ever going to make a new game, they need to make a new IP for it. They need to make it like a complete separate thing.
Why would they need to separate it from Mordhau?
You don't think so? Or you think so?
No, why would they?
I mean, they could obviously make a game that is like different.
What would the point having all this balancing of Mordhau to then just abandon it entirely, like just to make a second game? That doesn't make any sense.
No. I mean, obviously, I'm not talking that like about that in that sense. I mean, let's say that Mordhau is regaining success and they hire more people and become like a proper bigger studio, right? Then I would like to see it. I wouldn't want them to abandon Mordhau for anything.
The only reason to do that would be, I guess, to make loads of money. Because I imagine they made all their money at the start of the game, or when the game came out, because of all the new sales. Now they probably don't make that much money anymore. So that would be one reason why to then make a sequel. But then it would be kind of like admitting to doing a cash grab.
Yes, that's true. Like that's why if ever make anything new, make like a separate IP when like Mordhau is dead. If it dies, of course. I hope not, but like, how long do you think Mordhau's lifespan will be before it's under 1,000 players, like monthly, as average?
It would have to be till the new game comes out, like someone makes a competitor.
You don't think within like a year or two?
No, I mean this thing, it's not going to drop off that quickly. It's got like, I mean, right now it's had a boost because of the sale, but it's like 5k usually, so
3 to 5.
It would have to be like. Maybe in like 2 years it would be like 3k or 2k, and then maybe 2 years after that maybe 1k. But I think it would have to have another game that people could play of this genre for it to completely drop off to 1k. Like, because Chivalry still had 2k players, I think, before Mordhau came out, even if it was well on into its lifespan, and it was a less popular game, I think. I'm not sure actually on PC. Not sure who sold more, but I know that Mordhau had a bigger player count spike, like 60k, whereas Shiv's all-time high was like 20k maybe, something like that.
I do think that there is a good future in like in this genre of games, because it's starting to be noticed more now, and like every single time I see like some of those kind of highlight videos on Facebook or whenever, right? And then there's a clip of Mordhau, everyone's like tagging the time of the video. It's like, oh, what's that? And people seem genuinely interested in it because it's fresh and new. People don't know about it, and I think that if people knew more about it, or were like it was, I don't know, promoted more or maybe like marketed better, I think it would like the genre could blow up like big time in the future.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Well, so when you had coaching right today?
Yeah, I gotta go in like 10 minutes. I gotta go now actually probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remembered, you're a little over time, I'd imagine, but I just want to say thank you for coming in. I appreciate you taking time. I think we had some interesting conversations. You obviously have a lot of insight on stuff that I don't know jack shit about, so it's nice to hear like some different opinions than what I hear every day.
Yeah, nice to be here to talk to you.
Yeah. Alright, I'll see you, man. Have a good one.
I see, man. GG.
Okay, let's go. Alright, shit. Well, we're gonna be playing some Mordhau. Anyone want to park or some shit? Well, that's it.